Alpha Protocol really sticks out in the RPG genre in terms of the theme. Why did you choose to go with that theme for your next RPG?
We wanted to do something different from fantasy, different from sci-fi, and by doing that we're able to not only use a new RPG system, getting away from dice rolls, but we're also able to take on kind of more mature themes and things that carry different weight. In a fantasy theme, in a science fiction theme, we're more removed and morality is very clear, good or bad. In the spy world today, things are more interesting. There's kind of a gray morality and less clear right and wrong answers or good and bad answers. So we're really excited now for Protocol to be able to offer these interesting different factions and different deeper choices than we get in a more fantasy or sci-fi setting. You play Mike Thornton, and he's an agent that you can kind of project a character upon. You really don't see much when whenever you see a screenshot or a picture of him, you don't see much character that's represented through him, and that's what we've done on purpose. RPGs, base characters don't really have much personality. It's about what you do to them along the way that brings the personality. Not only how they talk, how they react to people. You can get that across by what you wear too, and you want to kind of dress the part if you're going into combat, if you're going into to just meet a contact or an asset.
That puts even greater demands on the other characters in the game to be more flamboyant and have more personality. Is that something you addressed?
Absolutely. We want the most interesting characters we can have. Early on, when we were developing the game, everybody wore suits, and it wasn't really interesting. And then we kind of evolved the characters. We wanted to have them a great personality. We kind of use the Kill Bill test. Is it something that almost could be in Kill Bill? Are these people kind of over the top enough and larger than life, yet still set in the real world, set in this spy world and this conspiracy going on?
Can you tell us a little bit how the gameplay mechanics of an RPG can be translated into something that at least on the surface looks more real-time based?
We've really focused on trying to move the RPG system from dice rolls, D20. We want to do something new that's not new for a lot of the guys at Obsidian who've made a lot of RPG systems. But we want to do something that, again, moved away from dice rolls, because when you're in a third-person action game, you want to actually be shooting. We're all used to being behind the camera and pulling the trigger and us getting a hit. So we wanted to use real hit detection, but that doesn't mean that there's not a deep RPG system underneath. We put kind of these skills in, these passive skills and active skills like being able to critical hit, enacting active skills like bullet time, which would kind of compare to magic, but it's what you see in action movies. It's having an unlimited clip for a certain amount of time, or slowing down time, being able to pick a couple key shots if you're trying to sneak around. So we've used all the references for the fun action movies, the fun action games we've played, the abilities, and kind of layered an RPG elements on all of that to make a really deep RPG experience using real-time combat.
Speaking of the choices, can you give an example of such a gray area, an instance of where you could do two different choices and none of them is the right one?
In one of the levels, we actually come across an arms dealer. He's a black market arms dealer and kind of tied to some not so savory things going around the world. So we have an option when we get to him, when we find out where he is, when we kind of track him down. We can arrest him like we've been asked to do. We could shoot him on sight. We can make sure that nobody else can influence him. He can't kind of escape the law and deal our own brand of justice. We could also extort him. A black market arms dealer is going to have a lot of weapons, going to have a lot of money. We could try and take that from him, a little blackmail him a little bit, give him a little piece of his own of what he does to the rest of the world. So none of those are really clearly the right answer. There's a lot of trust involved, and you have to know the other factions you're dealing with in order to understand the choices. But they're going to influence how the story plays out in front of you down the road.
So when will we get to play Alpha Protocol?
Alpha Protocol comes out on the PlayStation 3, Xbox 360, and PC in February 2009.
Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.